bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Do you really want to help the youth today? Well, we're going to ask you before this interview is over to make a city-wide commitment. Hello again, and thanks for joining us. I'm Carla Show-Lee, and you're watching Comcast Newsmakers. Dr. Chuck Williams, he is an educational psychologist, and he's in our studio today to talk about Philadelphia Compact. Thanks for joining us today, Dr. Williams. Nice to see you.
Carla, good to be here.
Well, I tell you, you sent me a press release, and I was just like in love with your life. It's just amazing. Give us a little bio about you, because I don't think you just popped on the scene, did you?
No, I didn't. I'm from Philadelphia originally from North Philadelphia. I've been educated in Philadelphia, Temple, Hahnemann, back to Temple to do my PhD.
Shout out to Temple.
Yes, in education. You're from Temple?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
yeah.
Educational psychology.
Yeah.
Everybody in Philly is somehow related to Temple, which is a good thing.
Right.
I've been teaching for 7 years, counseling, education courses, communications courses, and I've been very involved in activism in the city, particularly around education and child abuse prevention and violence prevention as it relates to children and youth and families.
Okay.
In fact, right now I'm working with the Mayor's Adolescent Violence Reduction Partnership, and we are working to get children between the ages of 10 and 15 to engage them, to provide them with mentors, to keep them out of trouble.
In other words, you're not very busy, Dr. Williams.
Not at all.
Okay. Well, you got to tell me about Philadelphia Compact, because I know this was part of Mayor Street's Blue Ribbon Commission as children's behavioral health.
Yes, yes. The Philadelphia Compact is an outgrowth of the work done by a lot of committed city officials and community leaders and youth and parent advocates and even consumers of behavioral health in the city of Philadelphia. And what we did is we wanted to look at a way to improve the quality of behavioral health provided to children and youth and families throughout the city of Philadelphia. So we met over a series of a few months, and we broke it up into a few committees looking at several different areas like vulnerable children, and then looking at all children, and then looking at children who have high needs. And then after that we decided, how do we go forward? We didn't, but the mayor did, Dr. Arthur Evans, who is the director of behavioral health for the city of Philadelphia. And we decided to create this compact, which is essentially a citywide commitment to ensuring the overall social and emotional well-being of all of Philadelphia's children.
Okay.
So that's what that is, essentially.
So you figured out what children's behavioral health needs were.
Yes,
Yeah.
Which is, basically, we need to make sure that children are nurtured and protected, that we provide them guidance and love. Now, more clinically, we have kids who have aggression issues. We have kids who are sometimes depressed and disconnected, socially and emotionally withdrawn. I hate to bring up the VA Tech incident, but the student there, Cho is his name, obviously in his life he dealt with a lot of emotional distress and psychological distress that probably went untreated for a very long time.
Right.
So we talk about early intervention and screening in order to provide the appropriate kinds of behavioral health services to children and youth in need. I happen to believe, as many of my colleagues do, if Cho had received early intervention for those mental health problems that he's dealing with, or was dealing with, because he's passed away, obviously he's dead, he may have not committed those kinds of crimes, and maybe he would have been a little more less likely to be angry and aggressive and to act out.
And taking it off him for a minute, you talk about also children need adults to set boundaries for them.
Yes.
And that makes a huge difference.
That's huge. I've been working in behavioral health now for 10 years, working and training and educating in behavioral health. And despite some of the work that we do clinically and all the research and this treatment modality and that treatment modality, one of the most effective tools is effective parenting. And one of the things that effective parents do is they set appropriate boundaries and limits for their children.
What citywide commitment are you asking adults to make?
Well, one of the basic things you can do is to ensure that you're a positive influence and role model in the life of a young child. So that's sort of basic and very easy. If you see a child who needs help, reach out to that child. If you see a child who needs guidance, provide guidance for that child. If you see a child who is disconnected, engage that child. Let that child know that he or she is wanted and loved and cared for.
What a pleasure to meet you, Dr. Williams. I wish we had more time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Well, this hour's newsmaker has been Dr. Chuck Williams, and an educational psychologist. I'm Carla Show-Lee. Thanks for watching.